Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today we're going to make scones. I love making scones. I made these particular scones for one of my really good friends' baby shower and they were a huge hit. They're super delicious and really easy to make. So it's my basic scone recipe, except today we're making cinnamon raisin walnut. That's what we're making, cinnamon raisin walnut scones. Let's go over the ingredients and we will get started. So we need some all-purpose flour, lots of cinnamon, and I'm never stingy with the cinnamon. Anytime there's a recipe that has a teaspoon of cinnamon, so I sometimes honestly add 2, but there's at least a full rounded teaspoon like this one. There's baking powder, salt, cinnamon, we said all-purpose flour, chopped walnuts, raisins, a little bit of sugar. That's the dry ingredients. Then we have heavy whipping cream, butter, eggs, and then I like to serve and of course vanilla extract. Another thing that's one of my favorite things to splurge on every time I'm making a recipe. Now I served these with an apricot butter and it was very simple to make. It actually beat clotted cream. Honestly, it was so delicious and you can make this butter really easily. We'll make it later on. I'll show you how we made it. Now when we make scones, we always start with our dry ingredients. So I'm going to put all of the flour and the sugar, and there goes a cloud of good smelling cinnamon, the sugar, and we're just going to mix this up on low just until everything's combined. Now you can do this in the food processor. I've made scones before in the food processor and they come out delicious and really easy. So now I put this on the side. I'm going to cut up my butter into smaller pieces. Now scones are perfect for baby showers. They're good for breakfast, for brunches. They're not too sweet, and they're really delicious with tea. That's my favorite thing to drink them with. Scones and tea, now that's a match made in heaven. So now I'm gonna put the butter in here, and we're just gonna mix it until it becomes like coarse, and you do not want the butter to melt. You want it to be in like little pieces, and I'll show you what that's gonna look like. So you want to do this on a slow, very slow stir setting. And while that's happening, I'm going to combine my wet ingredients. So you need about 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. And all of the precise ingredients and the measurements are on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. So don't worry about it. Everything's on there. We're going to put our eggs in here. And our vanilla extract. Just mix it up and have it ready. Now you see when the flour and the butter has combined and the butter has broken up into pieces, there are going to be some small pieces, some big chunks. That is when you want to add your wet ingredients. And you want to make sure everything is very cold. You want to make sure your butter is cold, your cream, your eggs, everything is nice and cold so that it does not melt your butter, so your scones are nice and flaky. And you never want to overmix. So once it comes together like that, you're going to leave it, and then you're going to put in your raisins and your walnuts. And you can substitute cranberries if you wanted for this, pecans, almonds, whatever dry fruit you like. Give it a mix until it comes together, and then we'll take it out. So now you want to have your tray, your baking tray ready with parchment paper lined in it. This is completely ready, and keep in mind it is a very sticky dough, but it's that simple and that quick and easy to make. Just going to combine all of this, and sometimes you'll have the nuts all the way at the bottom of your mixer. It's okay, just put them right in here, pat it all together. Pat it all down into a square or a circle or a rectangle. Okay, once it's all combined, you could definitely cut it into pieces just the way it is right now and bake it, and you'll have delicious scones. But if you want to have those beautiful crisp edges, this is the point where you want to take this dough and freeze it for like 20 minutes. Clean up, do whatever you have to do, and then take them out. and bake them, and then they'll be beautiful and crisp and sort of like really perfect looking. Whatever shape you want to cut it in, it'll be really, really pretty. Otherwise, they'll taste perfectly delicious like this. Just cut them up and then bake them and follow the rest of the instructions. But right now, I'm going to pop this in my freezer for 20 minutes, and I have another one waiting. That's the magic of YouTube, and I'll take it out and we'll move on. Okay, so while you're doing this, you want to, when you take out your dough, take it out and work on here. You want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. That's really important. Have some sugar handy. You just want to roll this out to about 1 inch in thickness. And you don't really need a rolling pin. You could totally do this with your hands, but you want to be careful to try not to warm the dough too much. And then take your favorite cutter and just cut your scones out. I'll flip this over and put them on your baking sheet. Look at how pretty these are. Now if you wanted to make smaller scones, if you didn't want to make such big scones and you're making kind of mini scones for a party, you can totally with a knife go and cut these in half, and you'll have triangles, and that you'll have double the amount. So instead of 8, you'll have 16. You'll have about 16 to 18 because I have this big one here too. So now I'm just going to sprinkle some sugar on top of here. Just like that. And then I'm going to let them bake in my preheated oven for about, it's going to be between 20 to 22 minutes until they're puffed up and they're beautifully golden on top. You're going to see what they look like soon. If you didn't want to bake all of these, or if you wanted to make a double batch and sort of have like for next time whenever you wanted them, or you just wanted to bake 2 or 3 of these, go ahead, bake 2 or 3 of these, put these in the freezer, and once they freeze and they're hard, put them in Ziploc or freezer bags, and they'll stay fresh for a while until you need them, and then you can just pop them out whenever you have company over, and you'll have a lovely treat for your tea. I'm going to bake these in my oven, and I'll show you what they look like when they're ready. All right, so they're ready. Look at them. Beautiful. You see what a difference it makes when you chill the dough? Look at that, how pretty they are. They're burning hot. So I'm going to put one in my plate. I should actually put this one, because this is the one that I want to have with my tea. But I'll save it until it cools down a bit and have my tea. Now scones are the best served fresh, hot out of the oven, because that's when they're flaky and buttery and perfect. So look at that. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. It smells actually like breakfast and like Thanksgiving or holiday season, even though it's not Thanksgiving right now, but I love that feeling of that time of year. So now, you can serve this with the apricot butter that I made here, or you can make a nice glaze. I have lots of glaze recipes on my website. I am going to cut this in half and show you what it looks like on the inside. Look at that. Oh my God, it smells so good. Put some butter on here. That is perfection. You can sprinkle this with some powdered sugar as well. Go on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Get this recipe. Post your comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.